I just want to go back to you all. I hope there's nothing unclear. Of course, it might be a bit difficult, but when you try it with your own hands, and bring an image or an icon, and then you take the shape and make it so that you can use it, it comes here from the shape. It comes something called the merge shape. What does it do? It helps you, and what do you see? When I did the merge, it brought me the shape, how I combined it. So this is one of the very important things in the uses of that you can benefit from in the okay. The doctor also applied it. All right, thank God. That's excellent. Of course, there are many examples and things that are much more difficult than this, but it gives great results. Yes, okay. If we look at another simple example, I might have given it in a previous course as well, the same idea. This is an example. I'm just going to clarify the idea for you, and I hope you all can do what you can, God willing, and send it to me. I believe the doctor in the previous course sent me the same project and the same idea. So what's the whole idea? Among the things you can use is to have a main slide. I just want to clarify the idea for you all, and I hope you can do what you can, God willing, and send it to me. I believe the doctor in a previous course sent me the same project and the same idea. What's the whole idea? One of the things you can use is to have a main slide. This is the main slide. Whatever it looks like, it doesn't matter. You can have this shape or two shapes, and you want to click on one. For example, right now, I'm writing here, what? This is something in history. You could do something in the field of medicine, like bring a shape of the lungs here and write lungs, and something specific like the heart, or whatever the idea was. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you click on one, it will take you to the slide that talks about the lungs or the heart, for example, or something specific. So if I made a specific one now, this slide, if you click on one, it will take you to, for example, King Ahmose, or to the lung, or about the heart or anything. Okay, and then I want to go back to the slide itself. So what I've done here is this shape. If you click on it, it will take you back to the main slide. And you can do something like this while presenting to the students, for example. If you click on number 2, it will take you to slide number 2. And so you explain it, and then you go back and click to go to the slide, and then number 3, and so on. Number 4, number 5, number 6, and so on. The idea is simple, and we will clarify its concept. Basically, you need to have the slides ready. Here, number 1 represents slide 1, number 2 represents slide 2. Each of these kings has a slide. So you should be prepared with this slide. You need to have it prepared. This slide itself, okay, this main slide is the one that has some work on it. This is the one that has some work on it, right? It has a bit of work. Okay, so how am I going to do this? You might say you just brought this, considering it like a rectangle or something. Okay, its edges here are a bit rounded. And then where did you get this part from? Here, it's the same thing we just talked about, that you can do this work through what? So you have two and you merge them together. I mean, you merge them together and you merge them together. I mean, you merge them together. How? You might say, how? I'll tell you. Okay, let's come here and do insert shape and bring a circle. All right, we're going to draw a circle like this. Here is the circle. Good. We made a circle, set transparency to 50%. We can also do a second gray hair, of course. We can give it to him or give it to her. For example, we can give it to her, for example, 50%, meaning it's transparent, for example, or also so that you know the characteristics of gray hair, you can also get used to it. This is just a regular circle, no problem at all. We can also go to the background here and give it, for example, a slight gray shade from the format options here. And then we come to the background of the circle and we can create another shape. I mean, we can bring the shape that I just made, see it, everyone. This is another shape. And of course, as you can see, we said we can use Ctrl-D and benefit from it continuously without wasting any time. I mean, I used Ctrl-D and created 3 shapes right away indeed. Can you see them right now? And I have this very shape here. I need to bring this one here like this, and this one here like that, and this one should be like the one in front of it. There are also alignment guidelines to help me place them exactly on top of each other and next to each other and everything. Oh, these are right here, right here. Oh, okay, so what did I do? Circles and rectangles. All that remains is for me to empty this circle, meaning it falls in the way you see it. It means that exactly this was a circle, and the rectangles were these, and then the circle was emptied. So it was a match about shapes. These are shapes. And then you just select shapes. Select them, go to shape format, then go to merge, and then go to fragment. You see, go to fragment and delete the part. It shows non-overlapping parts, so it gives me this shape. I need to change the color. So I'm going to fill this part with an orange color, and for this part, use green, and for this part, use red. You can change colors to any shade. This part is text. Take a text box and write. It's not overlapping between them. So it gave me this shape that you all see, which is exactly the same shape. But the whole idea is that I need to change the color here. So I'm going to fill this part, for example, with an orange color. And for this part, I'll use green. And for this part, I'll use red. The same concept applies here. I can use any color or shade you want. What color, what shade do you want? You can experiment with these colors. Of course, I'm just doing this quickly to show you the colors. For example, these are the colors. Now this part here is actually text. You just take a text box and write in it. So all you need to do is come here, take a text box, and write here. Of course, we also need to consider that the shade of the color should have a dark background. So the text should ideally be white or yellow or something like that. All you have to do is come here, go to a text box and type here. Of course, we must also take into account that the color level must be dark background. So the text should be white, yellow, or something like that. You might ask me, okay, where did you get this from? Where did this icon come from? Where did this shape come from? We agreed that we can use the icon. So we go to insert, then we get the icon, and we can search for it. We click on any icon, and it enlarges the topic. For example, if I want to get something about the brain or the head, here it is. I'll insert the icon, and then I'll make the icon a bit smaller and place it here. No problem at all. And I can also give this icon a fill. Like this, I can give it, for example, any shape that represents. I don't have to. I can do everything with my hands. Okay, so here I can write here. I have one here. This is just one. All right, so what can I write here? I can write one, no problem at all. Here, I have one, and I'll put one here. I can bring in another one, let's say 2, for example. As you can see, here's 3. Of course, you might forget a lot, but I want to give you the idea. Now, about this blue color, you might say, can we change this blue color a bit? Sure, you can come to the color and change it to white. But when you change it to white, you'll need to adjust the lines a bit and change the lines as well. All right, so when I made 1, 2, 3, and 4, what do I need to have? You should have these slides ready, right? And they should be available here in the what? They should be available here. Okay, how do I link it so that when I click on one, it takes us to this slide? For example, you come here and say, well, insert, and then you go to something called link. Yes, link. And okay, so when I made 1, 2, 3, and 4, what do I need to have? You should have these slides ready, right? And they should be available here in the what? They should be available here. Okay, how do I link that? Pressing 1 takes us to this slide. For example, you come here and say to him, by God, insert. And what comes to me? Something called link. Yes, link. And it was that we go to 1 and go to insert, then go to link, and we say, okay, then you go to 2 and also create a link. No, it wasn't link, it was link. So we'll create a link and go to try this. If we set it up here, it will take us here. The link will take us here. Also, if we do this for 2, it will take us here. To go back, how do I go back? You come to insert, choose a shape, and then you get a button. This button is like a button that performs an action. So I come here to shape, go to the button, and choose this button. It will ask to go to first slide. Yes, first slide. Okay, it's fine. I can move this button here, no problem. We'll create a link and go here. Let's try setting it up here. If we do this for 2, it takes us here. To go back, how do I go back? Go to Insert, get a shape, then a button. This button performs a specific action. Go to Shape, choose this button. It asks if I want to go to the first slide. I say OK. I can move this button here, no problem. If I click on 1, it takes me here. Click on 2, it takes me to 1. Click on 3, apply this project. I've clarified the idea. You can use it. This button, when I press it, acts. I go to Shape, go to the button. It asks to go to the first slide. I say OK. I can move this button freely. If I say clicking 1 takes me here, clicking 2 takes me to 1, clicking 3 applies the project. I've clarified the idea. Use it to complete the slides and connect them. Use it for any work. We conclude the lesson. Hope you benefited. Click on 1 and it takes me here. Click here and it takes me here. Click on 2 and it takes me to 1. Click on 3 with this project. I hope you all apply it. I think I've clarified the idea exactly and you can use it to fill in the rest of the parts and create the slides and use the links to connect between the slides in this project. So any work you do, you can use it. Of course, we are concluding the lesson and I hope you all benefited, but I hope you apply this project and send it to me so I can see the work and how you benefited from the shapes and merging between the shapes and fill in the rest of the parts here. Create the slides and use the links to connect between the slides in this project. So any work you do, you can definitely use it. Of course, we are concluding the lesson and I hope you all benefited, but I hope you apply this project and send it to me so I can see the work and how you benefited from the shapes and merging between the shapes. I also want you to use it. But I hope you apply this project and send it to me so I can see work and how you benefited from the shapes and merging between the shapes. I definitely also want you to use it, and I want to tell you that performance will come from the danger of practice. I hope that today it's natural. You need practice so that you can, the more you practice and work with your hands, the more the skills and the tools that are available here